Hello and welcome to Akron Buzz. I'm Tom Steffen, and today I have with me Georjette Thomas, who's the Director of Advancement for One of a Kind Pet Rescue. I think a lot of us have heard of One of a Kind Pet Rescue, and we know bits and pieces about it, but that's why we're here today, to fill you in on exactly what they do, and who better than Georjette Thomas, the Director of Advancement. Welcome.
Thank you.
Give us the basic idea of One of a Kind Pet Rescue as far as what we, the general public, might not know.
Well, we were founded in November of 2005 as an animal rescue. We operated as an animal rescue until 2007, and then we opened up a low-cost, sometimes no-cost spay and neuter clinic in the West Akron area. Our main mission is to rescue animals in imminent danger of euthanasia. So what that means is we go into animal control facilities, and Summit County has priority, and we take out animals prior to these kind people having to make some harsh decisions because of the animal overpopulation epidemic.
So you work in tandem with other agencies or no?
We work independent. We're an independent 501c3 nonprofit. However, we have coalition efforts, and we work with many of the other animal rescues in the area. We work with our local humane society as well as animal control to help control this problem of pet overpopulation.
Now, you talked about spay and neuter programs too. Is this something that is really, I would hope that this is more and more and more of what we're doing. Is it?
I hope it's more and more and more of what we're doing too. Basically, opening as a rescue, we saw several years into it that we can rescue these animals off the streets. We can vet them. We can get them into homes. We can continue to do this in large number. But the fountain was never going to shut off until we could offer our community low cost and again sometimes no cost, depending on grants and funds that we receive, spay and neuter, and make it available, high quality spay and neuter surgical services available to the community. Affordable.
I was just going to say
affordable.
Who qualifies for this? I mean, if I bring my dog to One of a Kind Pet Rescue, it can be taken care of, what, on a sliding scale or what?
No, we have a standard fee schedule. There is no income qualifier. Anybody is welcome to use the clinic. It's not just for low-income families, it's for everybody. And basically 86% of the clients that present there have never been vetted. So they have animals that have never been vetted. But the balance of that are people who have wonderful vets in the community, and they just want to take advantage of the low-cost savings.
I'm amazed that this is basically a private organization, or
public nonprofit.
Public nonprofit, excuse me, thank you. Nonprofit means that what about just plain old donations? I can give you X number of dollars, and I can use that as a tax write-off.
Exactly. Because we are a nonprofit organization, 100% of any donations are tax deductible, and people can take them as a write-off. We are 100% dependent on outside donations.
That's what I was just going to ask. Who pays the bills? Where does your money come from? 100%.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of question because most people know that we have moved into a 9,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility right here in West Akron.
Oh, and where is that located? What's your
at
address?
1929 West Market Street in the West Akron area. And one big question I get all the time is, how is it that we were able to fund such an amazing facility?
And that's a fair question, I would assume.
Especially as a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Completely, dependent on public donation. But the truth of the matter is that a local family foundation purchased the property. They raised what was the old Fairlawn Lanes.
That's where it is.
Yes.
Okay.
It sits on the old side of the Fairlawn Lanes. They raised it. They built the external structure. And again, this was all funded by a local foundation. However, we did a $1.4 million build-out, custom build-out for the animals on the inside of the structure. And we are on a note to pay back $1.4 million for the inside structure. However, we can stay at that property for $1 a month ongoing, indefinitely.
As you just pare that down, well, that's terrific. I mean, that makes your life a little bit easier. I mean, obviously, you're going to be there forever. You're going to be open, and you're going to continue doing the good work that you do. I think this was terrific of the family that donated the land.
Yes,
I mean,
yes. And more than it making our lives better, it really has made the stay for these animals better. And the whole building was designed around the mental stability and well-being of these animals while they're in our care. So we took a lot into consideration that way.
This might be an unfair question, but you will know, I have a feeling. How many animals, cats, dogs, and if there are, I'm sure there are some others, do you have at a given time? Like, well, right about now, how many are there?
I do know the answer to that, because sadly, it's always too many. We are always at 100% occupancy. So that means that even as we do adoptions, we don't leave that space open. We never adopt down. We're always bringing them in with us on a steady flow. We have about 163 cats and kittens at the new facility, and we have about 70-ish dogs and puppies at any given time. We appear to be very top-heavy on cats over at our facility. A lot of times people will come through and they'll say, wow, you have a whole lot more cats than dogs. The truth is we do. However, we rescue about 1,200 animals a year, and when it's all said and done at the end of the year and after adoptions, we're always about 50-50 on adoption.
Is that right?
Yeah, cats just have a longer length of stay.
Right.
You can manage a larger population because they're smaller.
Right.
And they require a lot less as far as
they're so independent.
physical care. Exactly.
Every cat is known for that. All right, so we want a dog, we want a cat. How do we do this how do we get one from you?
Okay. Well, what we do is we encourage people to come into the adoption center, and we have, the cats and dogs that are available there. However, we have others in an off-site facility that are available as well. So we have a book, a binder in the front. Oftentimes people come in and they'll say, I don't see what I'm looking for. I was looking for a lab. Well, we might have a lab in the back. We might have a lab over in the quarantine area. So it always is best if somebody's interested in getting an animal, they begin to interact with our staff. After they interact with our staff and we've introduced you to an animal, then we want to make sure there's a connection.
Oh, yeah.
There's always got to be a connection. We want people who are in there to adopt an animal to be picking that animal for themselves, not for anybody else in the house, but for themselves. Because we don't want that person to fail in the process, nor do we want the animal to fail in the process, and the animals are our first priority.
Absolutely. What it sounds like to me, though, is you have a real structure in place how to place all these animals. I think that's terrific.
We do. We ask that everybody fill out a matchmaker questionnaire, and then we enter into a conversation and we discuss some of these answers they've given us on this questionnaire. And oftentimes the dog they came in that they think they wanted may not be the dog that they actually leave there with, because in conversation we're able to do a better match. Again, we always have the animals,
Sure. Well, I mean, it
first
sounds
and foremost
like
priority.
I used the word process before, but I mean, it almost sounds like an ongoing little personalities and all the things that you match. It sounds like a matchmaking service, but in a way it is.
It is.
With pets and their owners. I think that's wonderful. What do you feel One of a Kind Pet Rescue, what is its impact on the greater, well, I mean, it's Akron, but the greater Akron area, what is its impact? How is it affecting quality of life?
Well, on many levels. Obviously, we're rescuing over 1,200 animals a year, so that's huge right there.
It is.
And we're taking these animals in, we're getting them vetted, and we're putting healthy animals back out into the community. Secondly, we're offering the low-cost and sometimes no-cost spay and neuters. This is helping with animal overpopulation. If we do our job right at that clinic and we work at full capacity, which we are not working at full capacity right now. Some days we are, some days we're not. But if we consistently do this, the statistics show that we can lower the amount of unwanted animals going into animal rescue in our community, in our demographic, by up to 70% over 7 years. So
that's a terrific percentage.
Yeah, and we can do up to 70 surgeries a day at our clinic, and there are some days that we are real close to 70.
Wow.
So, but we need to do that every day to make that kind of an impact.
Who rescues the animals? Do you have a staff that does this? Is it volunteer, or can we volunteer there?
You can volunteer there, but we do have educated staff doing the rescuing.
Yeah.
And one thing that's real unique about One of a Kind is we do not rescue only the most highly adoptable animals from animal control facilities. So when people come through, they're going to see the puppies, they're going to see the designer breeds, they're going to see the purebreds, and they're going to see the seniors, and they're going to see maybe the pregnant mom that just gave birth. So we don't pick just highly adoptable dogs. We pick an array of animals.
I think I'm just overwhelmed with this. Now, you did mention that I could volunteer there if I so chose, or our viewers chose. What could they do for you? How do we volunteer? What could we do?
Well, most people want to come in and get that touchy-feely, fuzzy kind of feeling, which means working with the animals. So we always have volunteers always have the ability to work with the animals. The more that they're worked with, the more socialized they become, the more secure they are, the more highly adoptable they become as well.
It sounds like a fantastic, I know it's a fantastic place. I've heard about it for years. I wanted to learn more about it, and that's why we had Georjette here with us today. I can't say enough good things about it. It just, everything about it is what we hope for any animal population in any area. But this is a wonderful, wonderful thing that you're doing.
Thank you. We just hope that the community will continue to come out and support.
Absolutely. Well, we thank Georjette Thomas, the Director of Advancement from One of a Kind Pet Rescue, for being with us today. We hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll see you again on Akron Buzz.